You know that person that just really bugs you? Like the second you meet them, you don't like them. You're not even sure why. You have somebody like that? You thinking about somebody in mind? Do you have somebody in mind? Like that you meet them, maybe you're at a party or you're out and about, and as soon as they start talking, maybe you don't even need to talk, just looking at them, you're immediately like, ugh, I don't like that person. And it's often not just one specific person, it's a type of person, right? There's like that one type of person. I don't know who it is for you. It might be like that like super nice, smiley, salesy guy, or it might be the kind of the sulking artist in the corner, and you're just like agitated as soon as you look at them, as soon as you meet them. And you're not even entirely sure where it came from, but it seems to happen over and over again. What do you do when you see that person? Let's say it's at a party. Do you want to avoid them? Sometimes that's what we do. We avoid people like that. Is there something in you that makes you just want to kind of cut them down to size or kind of go at them? Or what is it? What is it that you do? And here's what you and I need to realize. That experience that you have with others, people have with you. You, right now, are somebody's type of person. That you just being you, like living your life, breathing, doing what you normally do, annoys another person. How do you want them to relate with you? How do you want them to engage you? Let's even make it spiritual. Think about it in relationship to God for a second. What kind of prayers do you want that person to pray for you? And which ones do you want God to answer? Not just what they might want to pray, but what ones do you want them to have answered by God? See, just living means we create friction with people around us. Sometimes just by temperament, by the way we live, sometimes based on our backgrounds. Frankly, we've just been hurt by people. And as we've been hurt, we hurt others. For those of us who've decided to follow Jesus, we're not allowed anymore to just write people off or cut people down to size. Because we've experienced the forgiveness of God in our lives, we have to love and forgive others. I don't know if you've thought about this, as you're following Jesus, how you're not allowed to exclude anybody. You're supposed to love one another. You're supposed to love the church. You're supposed to love your enemies, according to Jesus. And you're supposed to love them in a way that's demonstrated, not just you can feel warm, fuzzy feelings, or you just tell yourself, I love them or I forgive them. But you have to actually be that and do that and live into that. See, when we're thinking about being great neighbors, it's only a matter of time before we bump into someone that annoys us to death, somebody that just is difficult for us to love. And if we're going to take Jesus seriously in this, it means we have to overcome those natural inclinations we have to avoid certain people or cut people down to size. And we have to be aware that we're going to rub some people the wrong ways. And sometimes it's worse than that. It's not just that we're rubbing each other the wrong way. There's real pain. And about every neighborhood I've ever been in, there's some kind of story of pain. There's someone that's been offended by somebody. There's somebody's dog that just barks all the time, right? You know that person? You know the dog barking person? That person, you know them? If you don't know who they are, it's because it's you. You're the dog barking person. Or it's somebody whose yard is kind of a mess, or they painted their house the wrong color and it's kind of annoying to everybody. Or somebody that doesn't take care of their yard the right way. Or sometimes it's someone that takes care of their yard so nice it just like irritates everybody else. And sometimes it's somebody throws parties and the cops have been called in and that created all kinds of offense. Maybe for them as the person throwing the party, or the whole neighborhood doesn't like a certain person. There are stories in neighborhoods and tensions that develop, and those of us that have been called to know and follow Jesus are to be people that learn how to forgive. And more than just forgive, we're the kinds of people that help others make peace with one another. Blessed are the peacemakers, says Jesus, for they shall be called sons and daughters of God. What would it look like for you to be a peacemaker in your neighborhood? The kind of person that doesn't just avoid conflict, but moves towards it and helps understand one another. That learns how to forgive and pray for people when you're hurt. That's what Jesus calls you and I to do, to pray for those who harm us, to pray blessing for them, and even worse than that, even bless them. Who are some people you could lean into praying for? What are some ways that you can help begin to make peace with others and build some bridges where maybe some bridges have been broken down in your neighborhood? In this way, we demonstrate what the kingdom of God brings, the peace that God brings, not just to us, but to the relationships that surround us. This is something you can do. You can lean into this. God can lead you and empower you and give you the favor to do this. And it makes our neighborhoods different places and changes the way that our cities work.